it's important that you come from the right context of dealing with young men. So I'm going to have Richard speak to you now about how to deal with young men and treat them in a different way. It's important. Come on up. It's important. This is one of Richard's main points, and this was actually first brought to us by my mentor, Brad Leslie, who showed us how to initiate young men in Canada. Thank you.
So you parents, you're so used to dealing with them as if they're children, right? What do they do when they're children? They're saying, oh, that's my mom and that's my dad, and they're so cool. And then something happens, 12, 13, and it's kind of slow, and you're just kind of going around and doing things that way, and then some 14, 15, you'd start seeing these things like, I'm not like you, and I'm this, and I think that, and you say black and they say white. They're individuating. And this is a vital function. What's the most important job that you have as parents? The one job you have.
Keep them safe.
Keep them safe. Okay? Help them to be an adult. And those two things go together, right? You're teaching them how to keep themselves safe when they're adults. Okay? In order to do that, you're not going to be around. You're not going to be there when they're 25 and they've got to figure out what to do with this situation or that situation or how not to walk down this street or that street. They have to think for themselves. In order to do that, they have to separate themselves from you and not think like you. But you still have to have a way, like Mark was talking about, right? So how do you do that? Well, one of the main things that we do is that we tell parents to treat them like they're 5 years older. Now your 16-year-old is 21. Okay? It's just a thing it's a trick in your head to get, you know, because you're treating him like he's 11 or 9. And you're still saying, okay, sweetie, and oh, let me show you how to do this. Now your job is to create learning situations for them. Not to give them the answer, not to help them figure it out. You need to create a situation where they can learn. That's, you know, there's a brain development thing that happens when they hit puberty that is unparalleled as to when they were infants. And that's they can learn things like this. And they got a lot to learn really quick. How to deal with girlfriends, how to deal with jobs, how to deal with, you know, new social environments. You know that thing that happens when they go from middle school to high school? What happens to the social thing? It's like someone poured gasoline on top of it and, you know, threw a match. So, and you're not there to help them with that or anything else. You have to teach them, you have to create learning situations where they can learn for themselves. That's your job now. It's not to do for them. So all the things that Mark has been talking about asking them questions, keeping the energy moving, staying true to yourself, knowing who you are, asking them questions so they can figure out who they are, not trying to impose your thoughts and your values on them. They'll get your values. They get it through osmosis. They know what you think. They know you better than, you know, so now they're just like, oh, God. Now they're treating me like I'm stupid, like I didn't grow up here, and, you know, they're lecturing me. And then you're in a competition, right? And the competition is where you don't want to be. Because if you say, I'm going to tell you, they're going to say, I'm not going to listen. And we put them into a situation where they're forced to feel uncomfortable and learn. Your job with children is to keep them safe and keep them comfortable and provide to their every need. And if they fall down and get a boo-boo, you pick them up. Now your job is to make them uncomfortable. So they learn and grow. I mean, what's life? I mean, 80% of life sucks, right? 10% is win, 10% is like okay, and then 80% is hard. And if they do not know how to deal when things are hard, because what does our culture give them, right? Everything. Gives them everything. They want an answer to a question, they turn on the computer. They want to not be bored, they pick up their iPod or their Game Boy. They call their friend, they text message. It's all so fast. What happens when they have to deal with something real that doesn't go away, that you can't, click the TV clicker at it? They're going to have to be resourceful. They're going to have the answers. They're going to have to know how to deal with stuff.